Now that we have embroidered both of the felt layers, we will start sewing the two layers together. Using a blanket stitch, we'll sew from this point here until this point. In this section, we will only sew one layer to create a pocket-like space for the wooden stick. Then, we'll continue sewing after gluing the wood stick to place. We'll take a thread that matches the fabric color and use a blanket stitch to begin sewing the edge. Insert the needle between the two layers and pull it out so that the knot is hidden between the layers and not visible. We will re-enter from the back at the same point where the thread came out and create our first stitch. Make sure that all the threads are tucked inside between the layers before you start sewing. Now, when we reach this point, we want to create a pocket-like space for the stick. We'll separate the two layers with our finger and only sew the upper layer. Sew until this point. Now, before we continue sewing both layers together, we'll make a pause to glue the stick with hot glue. Now we want to glue the stick in the middle between the two layers. Open the star shape to the sides like a book and put it on the table. Apply a small amount of glue to the top of the stick, then place it down on the back layer of the felt. Hold it for a few seconds to secure it in place. Once it's attached, put some more glue on the front side of the stick. Fold the fabric over the stick so that it's now glued to the inner side of the upper felt layer. Now our stick is attached to the two fabric layers, and we can continue sewing the star and filling it with stuffing while sewing. Continue sewing the star, both layers together, using the blanket stitch. We'll make a pause in the stitching to fill the star. We'll start with a small amount of stuffing to make sure it goes all the way in the tip of the star, and push it with the wooden stick. We need to be gentle to avoid tearing the fabric. Ensure that the corners are uniformly filled with stuffing and continue sewing the star while filling it with stuffing. When reaching the last stitch, insert the needle into the first stitch you made to connect it with the first stitch. Do it again. Pull it until a loop is formed. Insert the needle through the loop and pull it. Now we'll insert the needle close to the stitch into the star and come out at any point on the star. Cut off the excess thread. All that's left is to glue the ribbon bow onto it, and we're done.